That glitch was creepy, but here is that story again by the real Phylis. If you enjoy creepy content like this, be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get to the video.
A ghost story that sounds completely unbelievable but is entirely true.
So about 10 years ago, I was looking for a place to live, and my church rector at the time, was renting out rooms in the rectory because she was living there, but she would eventually be moving within like 6 months to a year. And, her husband had already gone ahead and there were all these extra rooms. So I said, yeah, sure, I'll rent a room. It was cheap. So her son lived in this one room and he hated sleeping in there. He was about 8 or 9 years old at the time, and he would only sleep in there if the dog was with him. So eventually, her room was big enough that she moved her son into her room with her, and she offered me the room, and I said, sure. It was just, a square room, large, one tiny closet, and open shelving. So nothing out of the ordinary. Anyway, so the first night that I was in there, maybe this was a warning, the dog came in and I was laying on the air mattress just hanging out, and he laid next to me and just cuddled up to me, but then threw up. And I was like, oh no, poor dog. But that was pretty much the last time he ever came in there. So I started living in there, nothing out of the ordinary. And I wasn't there very long, but one night, it was late, I went to sleep, and there was a window in my room, one window, and there was a fire station across the street. So the light would come in, plus it's in Brooklyn, so there was always some light. So my bed was against a wall, and I was facing the side that wasn't against the wall, right against the wall. And I woke up in the middle of the night and there's an old woman standing by my bed. So picture a woman who's, just got kind of a hunchback, short, just very old face. And when I was younger, I used to have a lot of nightmares. I would see things in the house where I grew up, and I would have sleep paralysis. But as I got older, I knew that nothing could hurt me. And I was confident, everything's okay. So now I'm seeing this old woman. So my first reaction was it's a dream, and I start laughing. And as soon as I start laughing, she scratches me. So I immediately turn on the light. Now I am a little scared, and I just look around the room. Obviously no one's in there. There's nothing out of the ordinary. I kind of get up, look in the hallway. No one is awake. Everyone, there were a lot of people in the house, but no one was awake. It was late at night. So I just get back into bed, and I decide I'm going to sleep with the light on, which I don't normally do. I haven't done that since I was a kid. So I go to sleep, and in the morning I totally forgot everything, and I'm like, why is the light on? Because I just don't do that. And then I remembered the dream, and I just kind of laughed because I was like, okay, it was a dream, and I got scared. But I looked at my arm, and there were scratches down my arm. So I really got scared. I think I started praying, and I was just really freaked out. But nothing happened after that. No nightmares, nothing out of the ordinary. And it wasn't too long after I moved out of the room, and my friend took over the room. So I would come back occasionally to visit and hang out in the room with them. And one day we were just hanging out. I hadn't told them about the dream. So I am listening to my friend, and they're saying whenever my boyfriend comes to visit, they don't like to sleep in the room with me because they always have nightmares. And I said, I kind of was just asking questions to get more info, but not revealing. And I was like, oh, what kind of nightmares? What's the deal? And my friend was like, he gets up in the middle of the night and feels like there's an old person watching him sleep. So at this point, of course I knew, and I was like, oh, really? So I tell my friend about my experience, and we both we're just so shocked, and we kind of exchanged information. And even though to this day, people, even with that information, don't believe me, that's how I knew it was real.